Hello everybody, my name is Benjamin Bloom. I have just witnessed QPR 3, Ipswich 0. Happy Christmas everyone. Yeah, absolutely hopeless performance from Ipswich today in the game up until about half hour. Bad mistake for the first goal, set play goes in and then QPR just picking them off in the second half. Similar feel to the game at Millwall, the game after Paul Hurst was fired, where just a bit of a lame collapse. So not good today from Ipswich at all. Here is how it played out. QPR line up sort of 4-2-3-1-ish shape, but they seemed very tailored to play against Ipswich. They definitely had looked at the goal kicks. So it was Lumley in goal, Furlong, Leistner, Lynch and Bidwell across the back. Luongo was the deeper of the two centre midfielders. Did look like a 4-2-3-1, but the press was very deliberate. Scowen with him. Voslek right, Eze central, Freeman left off, Naki Wells up front, who had been in good form. He continued that today. Ipswich still the sort of 4-3-3 shape. Gherkin in goal, Spence, Chambers, Pennington, Knudsen, standard back four. We seem to get that every game under Paul Lambert. Chalobah had been joined by a sort of deeper midfielder against Sheffield United, but he's pretty much on his own in front of the back four today. Downs back in the team with Nolan in centre midfield. Ward comes in down the right for Edwards, Sears down the left. Harrison starts up front for the second time, I think, since he's been out. Injured, in we go into the first half. First minute, lucky bounce to Eze, in off the left, low drive gathered by Gherkin. Remember, Gherkin had all those problems in the reverse fixture of this. I think that was what brought Bielkowski back in. So Gherkin facing QPR again here today. Eze feeds through Furlong. He's in on Chambers. Chambers takes him out. He got in the wrong position there. Yellow card for Chambers after 3 minutes. Freeman shoots the free kick. I think Gherkin's comfortable with it. He's behind it, but he tips it over, taking no chances. Ipswich then have a good 5 minutes from sort of 8 to 13, but then another Freeman free kick. Gherkin loses this one in the flight. Furlong's at the back post. If he directs the header on goal, it's going in, but it's a bit of a narrow angle. Gherkin did seem to lose it. Furlong heads in to the side. Netting on 15, corner headed clear, goes out to Scowen. He hits it right foot, gets a good contact there. Nolan in with the block, decent chance, sort of edge of the box from Scowen. On we go. Freeman causing chaos here into the box. He's on the left hand side. He gets in by the byline, cuts it back to Wells, middle of the goal. I think it just goes by an Ipswich foot, because Wells seemed surprised to get it, because it's a bit of an air shot by Wells. Middle of the penalty box, on the floor, easiest chance, must have seen it late, miss kicks it, goes behind him. On 19, Ward swings the corner in. Pennington's near post. He glances the header. It's blocked out on the far post. QPR breakaway immediately. Brilliant tackle by Flynn Downs, worth mentioning to stop that one. On 22, Wells is in on Chambers, wrong side, makes a last-ditch tackle there. More by luck than judgment, I think. Ipswich counter here. Sears and Downs get Nolan in behind. Nolan realises he's in and he's not got any support, so he's going to have to take on the shot. He comes into the left-hand corner of the penalty box, hits it left-footed when his body language says, if this was on my right foot, I'd give this a good old hit. But I think it's kind of a, well, I have to shoot, so I do. Gets it on target, hits it low. Lumley makes the save. 25, Ipswich, amazing play out from a goal kick here, all the way through the thirds. Lovely chip over the top by Nolan to Harrison in behind, takes it on early, right foot, half volley, misses the target. And here is the key moment of the game. Now you can see it's a bits and pieces game, and then Ipswich were on top in that 20 to 26, 27 minute period, but it's a complete horror show on 28 minutes. Ipswich in sort of comfortable possession down the right, 3 players reasonably close together. Nolan, I think he's fairly near the touchline, and he's going to play a diagonal ball back infield towards his own goal. Everybody knows if you're going to play that ball infield and backwards, you've got to get it right, and it's a horrendous pass by Nolan. Under hit, lazy, whatever you want to call it. Straight to Wells. Oh dear. So Ipswich from in possession. Wells now, I say, break the press. There is no press. You've just given them the ball in the number 10 position. Wells drives towards the goal. As Wells is doing this, Voslek is smelling blood here. Knudsen rightly is upfield a little bit, and it's a foot race, and Voslek's already ahead of him. Wells moves into the D, hits the shot, swerves away from Gherkin. Gherkin makes the save. Up it bounces. Maybe Gherkin needs softer hands and tips that round the post, but he shouldn't have been put in that position in the first place. Out it bounces. Voslek does quite well because it bounces up and he has to sort his feet out, and he kind of leaps and sticks it in the goal. Really, really disappointing because they're in the game. They're not being outplayed. QPR, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, QPR do not do that. They're not going to sweep you away with a whole load of possession, but they will pounce on your mistakes, and it's a horrible mistake by Nolan. He hadn't played badly up until then, but I'm afraid that goes down as a big cross against his name. Wells, don't even think he'll get the assist there because Gherkin pushes it back, but Voslek following up and puts it in, and it's 1-0 down. And we know that Ipswich are powder puff in these instances. So the next thing in my pad is goal number 2, El Collapso, game over, 34 minutes, bish bash bosh, done. Cheap free kick. I'm informed 2 Rangers players against 7 Ipswich players back, and I think it's Downs gives away the free kick. Might be wrong about that, so don't beat me up in the comments. Freeman always seems to punish Ipswich, so it's a free kick on the left-hand side. Ipswich's line is quite high towards the edge of the penalty area. Freeman curls in the free kick. It is Lynch, goes to the near post, loses his man. Pass, don't know whether that was Pennington or Chambers. Makes the header on the near post, and there you go. 2-0, game over. You know that Rangers are going to be tight and see this one out. Really, really disappointing because Ipswich hadn't played badly. Bad individual error from Nolan. Set play goal, and in the big moments, Ipswich get punished on 36 Ward corner. Big climb from Pennington, heads that one over. Rangers start to sit back a little bit. 42, Voslek yellow on Ward to stop a counter-attack. Half-time, Ipswich in the game until the first goal. Bad mistake, I'm repeating myself. And you go in at half-time, 2-0 down when you had that set play on top of it. Very, very disappointing. It's one thing to play badly and to go in 2 down at half-time, but to play all right and just, you know, have complete brain farts on the important moments is less good, I would say. 46 into the second half now, early effort from Freeman. Gherkin gathers it. 49, yellow for Lynch on Spence there. Knudsen, long throw out to Nolan, back to Chalobah, 25 yards out. Good hit this by Chalobah, takes his time, makes the side foot. Lumley makes the save, tips it around the post. I think the keeper's not entirely sure whether that's going in the corner or not, and that's why he was maybe a little bit indecisive, but good hit by Chalobah there. 52, Ward, corner, near post. Harrison heads that one goalless. Rather inept linesman didn't see that was a corner because it's blocked out on the goal line. The pattern of the game now is that QPR, they bring Voslek and Freeman back. It's more like a 4-4-2 sort of shape. Eze's up, very solid, and they're just going to sit in, and they seem to have realised that Ipswich don't really seem to have the quality to play through them or round them at this point. Happy to sit there. Don't know what happened to Grant Ward. He goes 50-50, I think, with Freeman. Seemed to bash his left knee, seemed quite high up his leg. He goes off injured. Possibly won't be seeing him at Borough in a few days now. Jack Lancaster comes in, straight swap for him. Not much action at all. Rangers doing a very good job, very European from McLaren here, just sitting in there. The wonderfully named Chair, which fills all the stands with puns every time he gets the ball, comes in for Eze. Roberts comes in for Nolan. I think Lambert decided that we're not playing through them. Let's get extra body further forward. But no sooner than they do that, and it's 3-0, and I think it's the aforementioned Chair in the right corner right on the byline. He tries to cut it back. I don't know what happens here. It's either a very clever ball or a miss hit. If it's a clever ball, he's cut it back into the empty space into the box. I think it was more luck than judgment, but only he's going to know that. The dentist chair, wheelchair, rocking chair, musical chair, all of the above. One person who was sitting back in his chair was Luke Chambers. He's not tight enough on Wells, although Wells, it is clever by him. Element of surprise here. So right hand corner of the box, he's going to spin on it really quickly. Chambers is in Gherkin's way as well. I guess Chambers thinks he's going to lay this off, so he does get caught out. But good finish from Wells. Swings it round Gherkin reasonably into the corner, but I think it's the element of surprise. The early hit and a real classic sucker punch 2-0 up goal. Just sat there, waited and took the chance with some little bit of quality, I think, from Wells there. And it's 3-0. Goodness me. I'll go into the in the summing up, but Rangers not really having to play well to get those 3 goals. They're very good at little intense periods of activity and very decisive. I was quite impressed by the deliberate way they did that today. The rest of the game, Ipswich's heads seem to have gone now. A bit of chaos on 77. 2 quick chances, particularly the second one. Bidwell crosses, Wells glances down and just loops wide on 78. Harrison goes down on the edge of the box, but Roberts takes the advantage, hits the left footer from the D. That one goes over. QPR put the kids in for the last 10 minutes. Ote in for Wells. Asai Samuel in for Freeman. Asai Samuel gets a chance pretty much immediately. He is blocked out, over and out. Off you go. Game over, though. Frankly, we all know it was game over at 34 minutes, the way Ipswich have been playing and the way Rangers have been playing. Really disappointing performance from Ipswich. Just very flaky and very soft in the key moments in the game up until the first goal. Mistake, set play, and then Rangers just sit back and pick them off for the 3rd goal in the second half, although Ipswich didn't really have the quality to play through. Rangers look pretty solid there. To talk about Rangers first, they're sitting in this group of teams on the edge of the playoffs. Unfortunately for people like Rangers and Birmingham, that group also contains Stoke and Aston Villa, who have a lot more spending power and a lot more star power than Rangers and Birmingham do. So I wouldn't be surprised if you saw those two push ahead. I mean, the purist in me wants the teams without the money to, you know, by sheer force of good management and good football, do it. But I think you'll see Rangers in the top half, but I don't know whether a playoff challenge might be beyond them. Are they still embargoed in January? I'm not sure. Certainly they're not going to be able to make the additions that teams like Derby, Forest, Stoke, Borough, West Brom, Leeds, possibly Norwich, we're going to expect them to make. So we'll see how they go. I like how deliberate it all is. McLaren is not playing the football that he played at Derby, the swashbuckling stuff. It's very it's quite similar to what Karanka's doing at Forest. Very sort of solid. He's got some quality with Freeman and Eze. Voshilek's more a running winger, and he's brought in well because Wells is doing well, and there's Hemed sitting there in the background as well. So Rangers did what they could. These periods of activity where they're very decisive won them the game, but frankly Ipswich handed them the game with mistakes. So well done Rangers, nice 3-0 win in the column. And I was very optimistic. If you're still a believer in Ipswich avoiding relegation, the goal difference will not sit well with 3-0 defeats. That does not look good that way. From an Ipswich point of view, I guess one game now until January, although no one's going to be coming in for that Millwall game on January the 1st because it's going to be too soon. So Borough now to play. It was a bit back to the bad old from Ipswich, the collapse. I compare it again to the Millwall game last time we were in London following Ipswich. A real soft collapse. Thought Chalobah played reasonably well. He seems to be improving as the season goes on. Downs probably is a better solution than Dozzell at the moment, given the style. Shame for Ward because he's injured now and he's probably not gonna get the run. So a bit of a dilemma now. There's Lancaster and Edwards, probably one of those going to play at Borough. Harrison, I thought, was good in the first half. For the first time under Lambert, Ipswich seemed to have some kind of threat that worried centre-halves in the first half. But how worried are centre-halves when they're sitting at 2-0 up is all I would say. So that threat diminishes with the context of the game. Sears a bit quieter than he has been today. We're going to be very interested to see what Paul Lambert does at Borough, whether this is now going to be a case of resting some players and going, you know, for Millwall, who are a team further down and possibly an inferior team, although I believe Millwall have won today, so that gap is going to be opened up. Let's hope this is not the rest of the season in microcosm for Ipswich. What I will say to Ipswich fans worrying is it won't always happen where it was the perfect storm today. Ipswich with a, you know, difficult to hard away game, and then all the 4 teams above playing each other, so guaranteed points, and I think decisive results in both. I think Bolton have won and Millwall have won, so the gap is not going to look good today after all that optimism last week. Anyway, well, I'm going to go home. Bit of a lame collapse today, and I had the joy of watching the end of the Norwich game unfold on Twitter on my phone as I walked to the car. So, oh dear me. Hey, my parents are coming for Christmas tomorrow, so we'll forget all about football and enjoy that. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you're a Rangers fan, what's the expectation for the rest of the season? Where do you see this one playing out? How high can you get up given the spending power and the star power of some of the other teams? Ipswich fans, can we do a Men in Black normaliser and erase today, because it's not been a good day, and a few more days like that, and yes, relegation set. And what I will say, this awful stat, Ipswich now, that's 11 away games in a row conceded 2 or more goals. That is awful, and you know, improvement in away games going forward is just conceding 1 goal rather than 2 or 3. But we cannot have these collapses anymore. That is certain relegation, and the character had been better, so I don't want to get too down on it today. Let me know what you think in the comments. Championship review on here tomorrow, so if you're not a subscriber to the channel, get involved. We're going to go live on YouTube tomorrow morning, and you can comment and put your 2 penneth in to that. Follow me on Twitter at Benjamin Bloom. Hit thumbs up, comment, like I say, keep it polite, keep it civil. We're all friends on here, aren't we, after all? And please, like I say, hit that subscribe button. Oh, I don't know what I'm off to do. Maybe a podcast bonus, actually, we might be off to do for you Blue Monday followers. Look out for that. See you later. Over and out. Goodbye.